What's going on, Vector family? It's Luke Leasing here again from Vector Algorithmics. Today I'm joined by Dr. Chad Clark. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing great. Living the dream here in Southern California.
That's amazing. I'm actually headed down to the West Coast for the first time this weekend, so it's gonna be my first
Oh,
time around
nice.
the area. Yeah,
Great.
nice. Um, well, first of all, I appreciate you for agreeing to do this call. Before we get started into the good stuff, why don't you just tell some of our listeners what you do for work and really what your trading experience is like?
All right. Yeah, sure. I'm an emergency physician. I run three emergency departments. I've been doing that for counting, residency over 30 years. Been practicing in the emergency department for 26 years. I love it. I'm 58 years old. I'm starting to, you know, it's been very stressful and it's very rewarding, but very stressful. So I've kind of been looking at, what's the exit strategy? When do I move on and not practice emergency medicine anymore? So it's one of the reasons why I think I started looking at algorithmic companies to help diversify my portfolio. I've pretty experienced stock trader. I've have a very diverse portfolio. I currently own about 140 different stocks. I trade stocks for my immediate family members. I've been doing that for probably 25 years since I started really practicing.
Well,
Also started investing in startup companies. I've invested in over 100 startup companies, and I have real estate and a vacation home, and all to try to create this big diversified retirement account, basically. Right, when I'm not seeing patients anymore, I have to live off what I've created. So and I also enjoy trading, so I started seeing some advertisements for algorithmic trading, and then I started investigating, and I didn't know exactly what it was going to look like, but I interviewed, I think, 8 different companies, and I think I mentioned to you before, you were actually the last company that I interviewed. I almost didn't take the phone call because I was burnt out. I'm like, okay, I've talked to enough people, and thank goodness I did, because I chose to go with Vector, and I honestly couldn't be happier.
yeah, you mentioned it off camera, but I don't think you actually went to the specifics. Why did you decide Vector when you were doing your investigation? Why did you decide Vector over the other eight companies?
It seemed, well, some of the companies were Forex, and when they started talking about offshore accounts and I just wasn't interested. I'm like, look, I've spent my whole life building my career, and it's all above board, and it just seemed, all the offshore stuff just seemed risky. I had read some reviews where people couldn't get their money back out of it, and I'm like, there's no way. I'm just not doing that. And so the companies I narrowed down, I think, to three were all American based, whether Canada or America. And I owned the accounts. They were all, in brokerages here. It just seemed legit, number one. And I think I got a shout out to Devon. Um, I was on the phone for probably an hour the first time I had a call with him, and it was just so down to earth, and it seemed open and transparent and honest, almost really too good. I mean, I remember hanging up the phone and then you're talking to my wife, and I'm like, I don't know, this just sounds too good to be true. And I think in the next phone call, I wanted to talk to some people that did not work for Vector, that actually had been using Vector. And you guys hooked me up with a couple different names. And when I talked to those people that were actually using it, one living close to me in Southern California, they confirmed everything. I mean, it was almost, and they admitted to me how silly it was and how well it was doing, and how little time they had to put into this. So um, I think honestly, just down to earth and transparent. And it's almost like may sound corny, but it's kind of like, I was in a fraternity. It's almost like I'm joining a fraternity, kind of a group of guys that all have the same goal, and everybody's just sharing with everybody. The Discord channel is unbelievable. I'm an old guy, so I had to ask my daughter how to use Discord, but now I think I have it down, and it's just amazing. I mean, I look forward to it in the morning. I've been getting up, we're West Coast time, so I've been getting up every morning at 5:30 to come down and get everything ready, and then I'm on the calls, and it's pretty amazing. I had no idea that I was kind of joining a fraternity or a group of like-minded individuals that were so open. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%. That's a common feedback that we get. The community aspect, that family feel. I'm glad you mentioned, David's transparency because to us, that's like top of the line transparency. In fact, I'm not sure if you saw it on our YouTube, but I think 1 or 2 days ago, we posted a video, and the only thing we showed on that video was our losses in September.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's good.
and
Yeah,
like you know this, Chad, because you joined us end of August. So you literally joined right at the start of our worst performing month, and there's no hiding it. September was a hard month for us. We lost some money. And the purpose of that video was to show people this is what it's like to trade in algo, to trade in general. Losses are bound to happen. Normally it's a losing week. We had a losing month in September. It is what it is. But we refuse to hide that because we don't want to mislead people, right? So we made that very clear. We posted an entire video, 5 minutes long, showing only September losses, and we were very
right.
transparent with that. So I appreciate that you actually noticed that because we take a lot of pride in our transparency.
Well, and I don't even know, just to add on to this, I think I told you a little early or off camera too. I didn't even know what a prop account was.
Wow.
When I called, and I mean, this was, I did this because I have been blessed enough to put my money away, pay myself first. I have a very healthy, diversified portfolio, and I was doing this just to use my cash. I literally, I think Devon was talking. I had to ask him. I'm like, you keep talking about prop account. What's a prop account? I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then David, the person you told me that doesn't work for the company, I get on the phone with him and he's like, it's crazy. I can't, you buy these prop accounts, you use these algos, you're using other people's money and then they pay you. And I'm like, this makes no sense. What are you talking about? So, and now I've got 45 prop accounts. So I'm not even stressed out. I have a large live account, my own money. Look, I go, the stock market goes up and down. I think honestly, I'll be open and transparent. I think our drawdowns for the market in general last March and April, my account was down $1.2 million just
Wow.
just back in March, and now it's back up, and I mean, it's so I'm these drawdowns don't really bother me. I think if anything, I have to watch it really closely because now I have these prop accounts and there's daily drawdowns and drawdowns. So it's funny, I'm quibbling over, oh my God, $90, and there's a more drawdown, but that I mean, that's you're gonna have to teach your members that, but man, the longer I've been trading for 30 years. You're going to have ups and downs. The whole point is over time, you want it just to keep going up. So, you know,
Got it. And I love that. You know what? I know the numbers on your performance with us so far. You joined end of August, so you've been with us for about 5.5-ish weeks or so, give or take. And
right,
um, we were just talking about it from my understanding, and then maybe you can chime in and tell me more. On your crypto portfolio with us, you're up about 4%. On your
correct,
equities portfolio, you're up about another 4%. And
correct,
then futures, even coming after a drawdown month in September, you're up another 3 to 4%, right?
correct. Yeah.
So talk to us about that.
No, those returns are, yeah, those are serious returns. I mean, honestly, when I ran the back testing and I learned how to back test, and I know it's not 100% accurate since you guys have been teaching me this, but overall, back testing with your systems, it still doesn't make any sense to me. It looks like if you get out of your own way,
Huh.
literally, because I've already gotten into my own way a few times. That's the hardest part in trading. You get out of your own way, you set these things and you let them run. I mean, it's silly. You could be doubling your money every 16 to 18 months. That's ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. It really is. I mean, most people, I think over 30 years, I've done very well and I average about 13 to 15%, which is very, very, very good. So I'm doubling money every 5.5 years. I mean, to get even close to 4%, 6% returns a month, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And that's per algo.
Right. Per algo. Yeah, per algo, right. Now we have an algo that runs in the morning and then the next one runs right after that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. That being said, before we close this all up, what's like one piece of advice? I know you kind of gave an idea about drawdowns as well, but what's one piece of advice you'd give to an investor or a trader that wants to succeed in this game for 25, 30 years, just as you did?
I think I think I got a, HR, someone that works with you and is the trader. I think number one, he sent me the name of a book and I think I haven't received the book yet, but I can almost guarantee it's going to be The Psychology of Trading. I think honestly, you have to just trust the data. And I'm sorry, my dog is in the room howling. I don't know if you can hear it, but
That's all right.
Stella, come over here. You just have to trust the data. You trust the algorithms. I think I'm well equipped to do that because as a physician, I've worked and trusting data my whole career. So you do the math, you back test the math, and you just trust it. And it's okay to make 90 bucks a day because 90 bucks a day times 45 accounts every day. That's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, this is
Yeah.
life changing. This really truly could be life changing for most people.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Chad Clark, I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate the honesty and everything you just mentioned. And I look forward to having another interview with you in a couple of months. And hopefully, we're not talking about 4%, 5%
Yeah,
returns. We'll be seeing much larger gains
yeah,
and more payouts.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so. Thank you
I,
guys. I'm just glad I came across you guys.
yeah. Same here. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Take care.
Take care.